Hi, I'm MSgt Americo Galdeano of the Installation Support Branch. I'm your resident Master Resilience Trainer, and I'm here today to share a personal resilience story about the holidays. Like most of you, I got to AFIMSC last year just before the holiday season. My wife and I were especially excited to arrive at this station as we were both born and raised here in San Antonio. For the first time in almost 20 years, we were going to get to enjoy unfettered access to our families. My mother was going to get to know her granddaughter. My wife was going to have sleepovers with a twin sister. That's something adult women do, right? That excitement, however, soon wore itself out, our very first Christmas in. You see, last year at Christmas time, we were still so shiny and new that both of our families literally demanded our presence during their individual Christmas celebrations. My wife and I, wanting to be dutiful family members, agreed to make both engagements, not wanting any one side to feel left out. My family always met at my brother's house for a Christmas Eve party. My wife's family always gathered at her sister's on Christmas Day for a white elephant gift exchange. As you can imagine, our first mistake was in overextending ourselves. Soon after, our stressors just kept piling up. For the Christmas Eve party, we were told to only bring gifts for the little kids, but every adult gave both my wife and I gifts, and we had none to give ourselves. A small thing, but we felt embarrassed all the same. My brother got a little intoxicated and spent much of the night highlighting that our presence was such a good thing because I ran away to join the service so many years ago. Due to the fact that we had a 3-year-old and we were getting up early the next day, we weren't going to stay till midnight, as was custom. And when we began to leave, my brother and mother both took offense. It made things uncomfortable and almost led to a fight. My overtired daughter cried the entire ride home about having to leave, and we still got home after midnight. After not much sleep, we got up Christmas Day to get ready to drive out of town to my sister's in-laws for a white elephant. We got a later start than we wanted, and my daughter only wanted to open gifts, but we had to leave, so that got cut short. She cried some more. Once there, the aunts got their new niece more toys than the other children got, and as little children do, they noticed and kind of took it out on her. My wife's biological father, who I'd never met before, was good and intoxicated before noon and decided to follow me around wanting to trade Air Force stories. My wife doesn't remember him being in the service, mind you. As it turns out, he's also mildly racist and spent the day making a lot of questionable comments throughout the day about me being the only non-white person at the party. I sucked it up, deciding that a family get-together was not the best place to resolve that issue. For the entire day, my wife was like a boiling pot of water about to blow over. I spent a lot of time encouraging her to calm down. I can't ever remember that actually calming someone down, and it certainly didn't work for me then. After all of our trials, we made it home that evening very, very tired. Our resilience had been ground down by our experiences. Before long, one of us, I can't remember who, made a comment about how difficult the other's family was. There was a back and forth, a few retaliatory comments, and before too long, we were in separate rooms on Christmas Day. I felt horrible. I went into the kitchen later for something to drink, and I nosed my wife on this beanbag chair we have in the living room with my daughter laying by her side. When my 3-year-old saw me, she put a finger over her mouth, told me to be quiet, and ordered me to come here. I complied. She then instructed me to lay down with her and told me, no talking. I complied. As we all lay there, she grabbed my hand, and she slowly gave it to my wife. Neither one of us resisted. And in that moment, like the Grinch who stole Christmas, everything hard in my heart melted away. My anger, gone. My frustration, gone. I felt every troubling thought in my head fly from my mind. It was like taking your first deep breath of air after being underwater. This tiny little human that was my daughter knew the answer to all of our problems, and she guided us to peace. She took the opportunity to lay across the both of us at that moment like a very ungraceful cat. One of her tiny hands came to rest across my eye and my nose. She began to there me right across the face. As I began to ask if she could move, she slid her hand down to my mouth, shushed me, and whispered in my ear, "Dad, you're ruining it." My wife and I lost it completely at that point. We broke out in laughter. My daughter had fixed her mom and dad. Much of our holidays are filled with a variety of challenges that we don't normally encounter every day. In my story, our families had taken me and my wife to the brink of our endurance. We had spent so much time tending to others that we failed to take any time to tend to ourselves. Our cups were empty, our vessels drained. With one small act of love, it was filled. We had been keyed into what was most effective for us to be resilient again. Our cup now overflowed, our vessels refilled. This year, as we plan to meet our commitments both at home and at work, please remember to take the time to reflect on what makes you strong again. What activity, what recreation, what company drives you to be a better leader, more effective in your duties, a more loving person to your families? Include that in your plans this season. Ensure you are as comprehensively fit as you can be. Don't ignore your vessel. Don't ignore yourself. Happy holidays, IMSC. I am Master Sergeant Galdeano. I am resilient, and so are you.